Good morning to you here on Instagram and good morning to you on Facebook. Tanj here, peak performance specialist for real estate and property professionals that really want to grow themselves, their people and their business in the least amount of time. But we do have a number of people outside of the industry that tune in. Adam, g'day Kerry. Nice to have you here. Good morning, Simon. Happy Friday. Can you believe it is the 1st of February? Is this just nuts? Where did January go? Like it was like, phew, gone. And here we are in February. Welcome to our very, very first Rapid Fire Friday. The whole intention for Rapid Fire Friday is just to really share with you some rapid fire insights and tips that I'm picking up for my week of coaching. So if you don't know, I'm a peak performance specialist. I work with real estate leaders and teams to grow themselves, grow their business and their people in the least amount of time. And here's what I know. Many of you don't have the resources right now to have a coach, but you share in the same experiences, frustrations, worries and concerns as everybody else. Let me know if that's you, So if you don't have the resources to be able to invest in a coach and you're just running around trying to do the best you can, then tune in every Friday so I can just hopefully help you and share one thing that will make a difference if you apply it. So that's the intention. So I know if you're watching this live, can you type in live on Insta? Or if you're watching this as a record, please type in record. That'll give me a sense of when this information is connecting with you. And as I go along, please feel free to interact and ask any questions. The whole intention is to be of service to you. So let's get straight into it. Here is, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a speaker. I speak at industry events. I train and run programs and workshops. Thanks, Jackie Bailey's live. You've had a ripper week. Jackie, I'd love you to write in for us. You and Steve both had a big shift in your state of mind in the last week. What was the thing that made the biggest difference for you? Because you all of a sudden got all of this energy and business flowing. So please share, what was the thing that made a difference for you? Good morning, Kate. So I speak at industry events, I do training programs and workshops, and I do one-on-one coaching, video blogs, and write for industry magazines. And here's what I know. It is, let's just state the obvious. The market has been correcting for some time. Many of you are navigating business conditions you've never navigated before, and it is a challenge. G'day, Adam. Thanks for joining. So this is seeing many leaders and teams worried, stressed, anxious, not sleeping at night. Their health is at effect. There are mergers and acquisitions going on. There are offices closing down. There are leaders that are taking their agents off retainer and commission. There are leaders that are no longer taking a wage. There are invoices outstanding to be paid. And listen, just the quality of life is not great. This means, generally speaking, the majority, good morning, Troy, and good morning, Chris. This is lovely to have you here on a Friday. The majority of people that I've spoken to this week are in fight or flight. They are really adrenalized and in fear mode rather than faith or love mode. And if you know what I'm talking about, send me a thumbs up, send me a love heart, just let me know. If you are generally feeling fearful, concerned and anxious, and it may go up and down. You might get a win and feel good and then you're back down to fearland again. I just want to share as much as I can. Maybe you'll get one thing that if you apply will really make a difference. Thanks for all the love. Okay, the first thing is, no matter what's going on in your business, don't catastrophize your language. In one of my coaching sessions, my client was talking about my property management business is falling apart. My admin team is falling apart. They've got a previous brand that they worked for, there's some situations that they're dealing with, but their language was they're attacking us. Now, even if times are tough and you're navigating tricky terrain, when you use language that catastrophizes things like my business is falling apart, we're under attack, it's not going to put you in a right state of mind. You are going to be completely adrenalized. Your entire kidneys and your adrenal glands are going into fight or flight mode, which means everything else, all your other organs shut down. So you've got maximum energy to run away from the saber-toothed tiger. Don't do this to your body, because when we are completely adrenalized, it creates a lot of drama and we don't have clarity of thought. Jackie, not letting the reality of where you are bring you down, keeping your vibration up. Watch your language. Yes, watch your language. Be careful what you say, because you are listening. We are creative beings. Every thought, word, and action we take produces the reality and outcomes we have. If I can give you one message, I'm going to give you about 7 or 8 or 9. If I can give you one, please don't become victim to your circumstances and be disempowered. You can dramatically alter your experience of your reality by changing your thoughts, words, and actions, and the quality. So number 1, don't catastrophize. Be careful what you say, because you are listening. When you add a lot of drama to your reality, you adrenalize yourself and you're in fear. When you're in fear, you lose the capacity to effectively problem solve. You don't innovate. You're intense, and your nervous system is uptight, so you're just not operating at your best functionality, and you won't come up with your best ideas to problem solve. Don't dramatize, don't catastrophize. It's just going to create more stress for you. Number 2, here's a common theme, and look, I've known this for nearly 5 years that I've been in the industry. Most leaders have no clarity about where they are. They do not know what total revenue or gross profit they made for the last financial year, and they don't have a clue on where they're tracking this financial year. Clarity is king. It really gives you an ability to know where you are. And here's what else I know. A lot of you may be avoiding getting clear on the current revenue and the current gross profit on your business, because you're avoiding. Maybe you're afraid to look at what you're doing because you have to really confront some reality. If that's you, if you are consciously or unconsciously avoiding getting clear of where your business is or isn't, I can tell you from all the coaching I did this week, 90% of people have no idea, for those business owners, what their break even is. If you're in, most of my clients are leaders, so that's the language I'm dealing with. But if in those leading agents that I'm coaching, a lot of them don't know what their listing conversion rate is. A lot of them aren't tracking whether they're on track. So clarity is king, and it help you make really clear decisions. When you avoid getting clear on your reality, you're putting yourself under really unnecessary subconscious stress, which again will have you in fight or flight mode, and it's just going to really erode the quality of life. I get it. It takes courage to look at your P&L. Many of you don't even know what a P&L is. And that's okay, but call your accountant today. If you don't know where your business is sitting, if you don't know what your expenses look like, if you don't know what percentage gross profit you're on, please don't run your business blind. You owe it to yourself, your family, and your people to be clear so you can make great decisions. Because if you don't know where you're going and where you are, how can you reverse engineer strategies and decisions to make you as profitable as possible? And you've got really 2 dials. You can turn up your revenue, earning capacity, and you can turn down your expenses. Now, recently I helped one business that has 5 offices save $120,000 per annum by consolidating some of their suppliers and negotiating sweet deals to get 5 offices, rather than have different suppliers for different things across 5 offices. We got rid of that. We put in some generic, one supplier who's covering all the businesses. $120,000 instantly saved. Okay, so don't avoid it. And if you are watching this, and if you know you are avoiding your figures and it's scary, DM me and I'll talk you through it. Okay, maybe you just need a different perspective. DM me. I'll give you a complimentary 15-minute consultation just to really look at what are the blockages that are sabotaging you making some big decisions in your business. It's what I do every day, right? And I want to help you. So thank you so much for all of that love and thumbs up. Okay, number 3, assumptions and opinions really Alienate, assumptions and opinions alienate success. Many leaders and people are actually assuming a lot of things about their team members, about the market, about their clients, and they're not asking questions. And assumptions and opinions are based on our experience of the world. You really want to remain curious and open-minded, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Get curious. Ask people why they said that, why they did that way. But you know, the old saying goes, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I just see a lot of people dealing with unnecessary drama because they're not dealing with reality. So don't assume you know what people are feeling or going through. Don't assume you know why people are doing or not doing what you want them or think they should do. Get curious, get interested, and ask them. And one of the best distinctions to get through this is, g'day Jag, is to have a core belief in everything that you do, is to assume good intention. When you assume that everyone that works for you and your business comes to work with the best intention, they don't come in to cause havoc and create drama and stress for you. Everyone comes in to, work with the best intentions, and we either have the skill to do the job well or not, or we've got the skill and we need to be willing to do it. And in all my coaching this week, here is the thing. Many of you have the skills. You have the skills to generate business. You have the skills to increase your productivity and performance. You have the skills to inspire and motivate. You have the skills to get clear about where you are. But a lot of you are not being willing to do the work. And it's because many of you are lacking the mojo and motivation to take action because you're in fear. Please just get clarity. Please don't catastrophize, and do what you need to do to get clear and then take action like Jackie and Steve did. And boom, in 1 week, just business was popping up everywhere. True, Jackie? So, number 4. This one is a big one. So many of you are avoiding confrontation, and this really erodes human potential and excellence being fulfilled. We avoid confrontation because our definition of confrontation is it's going to be a fisticuffs, there's a winner and a loser, and it's painful. I love confrontation because my definition of confrontation is that it is an opportunity for clarity. If there's a confrontation, I don't avoid it. I go, cool, here is an opportunity for us to clarify something, for us to get on the same page, for me to understand you and learn something from you. And hopefully you learn something from me. So if you are avoiding confrontation, please know that you probably have a disempowered definition of it, that it means that you don't want to rock the boat. But if you know it's having an impact on delivering on your standards, fulfilling on your strategies, or elevating your physical, emotional, and spiritual state and mental state in your business and with your people, then just go up and say, hey, can we have a chat? I'm curious. I want to understand. That's the other thing. If someone's doing something that's against how you do things in your business, don't go in and have a go at them. Do what's called seek to understand. Be curious. That's the key word for me today, is just be curious. Everyone works with the best intention, so assume good intention and just go up to them and say, hey, I'm curious. Why were you doing it that way? Not, why are you doing it that way? That's defensive and you're not going to get the best results. There is power in asking for forgiveness. Woo, this one was a doozy. I had a coaching session this week where the principal completely cracked the shits and stabbed a pen in the table and swore and lost it at a key team member. Now, granted, he caught himself and knew that wasn't really great characteristics and apologized. But when I walked him through some of the issues that were going on for him and why he was so reactive, his definition of his team was that they didn't respect him. And so he had been living through the viewfinder that everyone in his business didn't respect him. And here was the biggest thing that he navigated. This leader, he's a great leader. I've been coaching him for a while. His business has significantly grown. He's financially set. He's just, got himself some nice new wheels and his life is comfortable. Yet, every time he walks into the business, he experiences high levels of frustration because his people just aren't operating at the frequency that he's at. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about here? That you work with people that aren't on the same vibe. They aren't as enthused. They aren't as self-driven. They aren't as motivated. They aren't as inspired. Can you relate to that? Let me know with a thumbs up or smiley face. But here's the problem. He was going into his business with his team every single week or every single day and getting shitty and frustrated because of where they were at. And I really had to educate him on, he's the business owner, he's more entrepreneurial minded, and there are hundreds and thousands and millions of people around the world that don't have that drive, and that's not their jam, but they do a good job. So as a leader, you must meet your people where they're at, and your job is to be a servant leader and get underneath them and make sure that your environment is a petri dish for thriving. You've got to know how much they want to take home, you've got to know why, and you've got to know what their development plan for the year is so they can get the skills to actually fly. If you do that, you'll retain them more and you'll have less turnover, greater morale and connection. So this leader, even though he had already apologized, I invited him to take this person out for coffee and acknowledge that whilst he's already apologized, he's really, really, really not committed to that behavior and it won't happen again. And I asked him to ask for forgiveness. Now, this is a very, very vulnerable act, but please don't ever underestimate the power of asking for forgiveness. It does show deep remorse. It shows that you're genuinely aware of the impact you had on another human being, and it gives them the power to really see you in a vulnerable way and then actively forgive you. And what happens between the two of you is quite beautiful as a result. And then what tends to happen is that person that you apologized and more importantly asked for forgiveness from, they go back to their desk feeling really appreciated, feeling valued, feeling empowered, feeling that you love them, and they'll be more productive. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. Don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness. This one is key. So many leaders are having challenges with their people not doing what they're asking them to do or what they know they want to do. Let me know. Are you experiencing that? Give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you've ever asked people to do something and then just not doing it or not doing it to the level that you'd like them to. What tends to happen is most leaders talk to them about it, and then they start telling them again why they want them to do what they want them to do, but you're missing a fundamental act. That you're just not asking why. So if someone in your business is not doing, or your team or your life is not doing what you've asked them to do and they've agreed to do it, then ask them why. And you can ask like this, because how you ask is everything. Can I ask, Steve, why haven't you done what you said you would do? And then pause, like a nice big open pregnant pause. Don't fill in the space. A lot of leaders aren't comfortable, A, asking why, and 2, doing the pregnant pause. But when you ask why and when you pause and you create a space for people to genuinely reflect with a deafening silence so they can't avoid it. Hey, Haley, thanks for joining. Then you put them in a position where they must take a look, and you hold that place until they answer. And it's really, really powerful. Leaders, stop filling the gaps. Stop telling people what they should be doing. Ask your people why. G'day, Kaya, tuning in to Mum. Ask your people why they are doing what they're doing. But remember, communication is 7% words, 38% tonality, and 55% physiology. When you ask your people, help me understand why you did it that way, they're going to be defensive. But if you're really open and calm and courteous and you say, Kaya, I'm interested. Can you, I'm curious, why did you choose to do it that way? And then pause, watch what happens. I promise you, you practice this, you may learn a lot about what's really going on with your people, and it can really, really be a game changer to understanding what they're dealing with. And then you as a leader can provide a much higher level quality of service. What's the last one I'm going to share with you? So I had a session also this week with 2 directors that run a business together, that really fantastic operators. They're number one in their area, and that was their game. I've been with them from the start, and they're just navigating different opinions. They're navigating different communication styles. So if you are running a business together with somebody else, co-leading or working with an EBU or a small team or a pod, get interested in that everybody has different communication styles. Everyone feels loved and valued and appreciated in a different way. And your way is not the right way, and it's not the highway either. Have some personal awareness and have an interest in getting to know the people around you. And one of the best tips I can give you around knowing how to effectively communicate is begin by understanding, good morning, Bridget, what your co-leader or your colleague or your family member or team members' predominant love language is, or their language of appreciation. If you don't know have you ever done the love languages quiz, which you can do free online? I'll make sure I drop the link in on this video. You've got to know how you and your people experience being loved and appreciated, and that will help you influence, the way you communicate with them. So with these two, I help them understand that they have different communication styles. Not one is better than the other. We needed to formalize some time in the week for them to have their directors' meetings. But the thing that was missing, particularly with one director, is they were missing the friendship. They were missing just the casual celebration of the wins or sharing the frustrations. And I reflected on this beautiful metaphor that ants do. If you've ever seen ants work together when one row is going this way and one row is going that way, watch them in action. When they pass each other, they bump heads. They're just communicating and connecting. And I said to them, you guys just need to be ants at the end of the day. Take a minute or two just to connect and go, how'd you go today? You know, what'd you achieve? Did you win? Because sometimes it's lonely at the top, even if you're leading with another team member or another leader. So make sure you have formal strategic communication times that are non-negotiable, and they have an agenda and they're super intentional and they're not kumbaya, waffle, go on forever. And then make sure that you have those casual times to check in and an end of the day check in to keep the connection and appreciation and validation of one another alive. So that is the first Rapid Fire Friday. Just some reflections, tips and lessons that you can apply in your business and your life to really improve the quality of your experience, the quality of your thinking and effective problem solving and innovative strategic cooking up, and the way you serve and effectively lead. If you found that valuable, please give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this and you know that there's someone in your life that could really use one or more of these lessons, tag them, share them. The whole idea of doing this is just to provide some free resources and insights for you. If you have a particular challenge, issue, problem, or concern, I'm here for you. If you want a complimentary 15-minute discovery session and let's find out what's blocking you from producing the results you want, or just give you a different opinion about how to navigate a challenge, DM me, flick me a message in the comments. This year I am amping up the volume of service. I want to solve as many of your problems and challenges as possible. Why? Because you deserve to be happy and live deeply fulfilling lives. And that's why I do what I do. So thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up if you found that valuable. Give me a live or a record at the time that you're watching this so I know when it's connecting with you. And I hope you have a beautiful first day of February. Go well. Much love. Be great. Goodbye to our friends on Instagram. Ciao. And see you later to you on Facebook. Have a beautiful day.